You're tuned into the show that informs, entertains, inspires, and promotes motorsports everywhere.
Welcome to Winning Wednesday on Northwest Race Report.
Tonight's show is brought to you by
Miller Kitchen and Bath, Bailey General Contractors, Myers Floor Covering, Welter's Gun Shop, and Flaming Pig Barbecue.
And by the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. And by Leonard Evans, Used Car Superstore. And by Product41.com, Atomic Screen Printing. And by BLG, Blue Line Graphics. Be unique, stand out, get noticed. www.blg.blue. And now, back to your horsepower performance hosts, Terry Bridges and Glenn Lippy Tower. Oh, what's going on, racers? Welcome to another edition of the Northwest Race Report. I'm your horsepower and performance host, Terry Bridges. We got a cool show for you tonight. We got a super, not only is she foxy, but she's a heck of a promoter. We got Heatehr Boyce from Cottage Grove. What's going on, Heatehr?
Hey, Terry. Out. Not a lot. Just sitting here waiting to be able to go racing.
Yeah, that I you know what? I think everybody's in that boat.
I think so.
Have you been okay? Have you been going to the grocery store, or do you call it in? And...
No, Cottage Grove is pretty small, or I don't even know that they offer some of those services, but I go.
Where do you live? Do you live at the Grove?
I do. I live about 2 minutes away from the racetrack.
Oh,
I
awesome.
like to get too far away from it.
Right. That's cool. So do you even have a Walmart there in Cottage Grove?
We do. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I think I've been once since this whole thing started, so I couldn't tell you if they had toilet paper. I got no idea.
I got to tell you, Heatehr, you know what? The one thing I like about Walmart is it's my home away from home. I can go, like I've been to Boyce, and you know what I mean? You go on the road to these different places. I'll go to announce, and I'll get there, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I got to find Walmart because I know where everything is. They're kind of all laid out the same.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like home for me. I go in there and I feel like, okay, it's just like I'm at home. It's kind of my home away from home.
Then you're set next time you come down. We've got a Walmart for you.
Oh,
they even usually put our schedule up in there.
I don't even need that. So. I don't even need that. The last time I was there, I had everything I need. I had too much stuff. I was like, are you kidding me? Nobody asked me for this stuff.
I know. I threw you to the wolves.
Yeah, you were awesome though. I mean, it was we gave away 60 bikes, I think.
It was there was a lot that year. It was somewhere close to that. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's a fun night. I love kids' night.
Yeah, it was. And and that show was super good. I mean, there was like 50-some cars for that street stock deal.
There was, yeah. That was a Wallbanger Cup. That was our big street stock race that year, and it was a good night. It was a good night.
Ben
picked a good one to be gone and have you fill in.
He did. I'm going to tell you. Thanks, Ben. So let's talk about Cottage Grove. I mean, what's I know we all know the COVID-19 thing's going down and all that stuff, but what about improvements? Are there any?
Well, there's always little stuff happening, and we've been spending this downtime doing as many little projects as we can. But since I am in the process of purchasing it and all that, there's a lot of people that think these things are just going to happen overnight and they're going to show up and it's going to be a brand new facility. Well, the problem is all those things cost a lot of money. So we're doing what we can. Our first order of business is taking care of the stuff we need to with the city. And then we will constantly be improving this place, but just everybody's got to be a little patient with us.
Hold on a minute. You, Heatehr Boyce, bought it?
Yeah, where you been, Terry?
Dude, I guess I've had my head you know where, yeah.
Yeah, me and Jerry came to an agreement this winter, and I'm in the process of purchasing it from him. So.
Oh, my God, good for you.
Well, thank you. It's pretty exciting. I love this place, and I can't imagine doing anything else or being anywhere else, and so I'm really glad that we were able to make something work out, because I don't want to go to any other racetrack. That's not ever going to be my first choice. So I'm glad that now I get to just always be here.
That is so cool, Heather.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Well, thanks. I'm pretty excited. It's still some days doesn't quite seem real, but it's pretty great.
Well, I'll bet it's a
it.
little scary now, right?
It is.
Because you say, here we go, I buy this place, and now everything.
And now are we going to be able to race?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a stressful start, but we're just hoping that things kind of die down and get back to normal sooner than anticipated. And right now we're looking at it as, although we've had amazingly great weather, that's not normal. And so it's no different than last year where we had all these rainouts and stuff. We're not too far behind, and hopefully it doesn't go on for forever.
Jeff McConville says, she's the best owner in a long time. She will do what it takes.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, he's a cool cat.
He is, yeah. His kid raced with me back at Salem and even here a little bit. But
his kid's a stud, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can wheel it. What's up, Rusty? What's up, Todd Nunn? Marvin Christie Schultz. Welcome to the show, everybody. We got Heather Boyce with us, new owner of Cottage Grove. Yeah, I guess my head was kind of, I'm like an ostrich. I can bend over and shove it, where. That is so cool. I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, I do too. I'm really glad that it worked out, and I'm so thankful that I've had the time, because I think that's a lot of new owners' fallbacks, is that they haven't ever really worked there or done it. And I was lucky enough to be able to work for Jerry for so long and then lease it from him and kind of see all sides of it. So I feel like I'm fairly prepared stepping in here.
Well, you know what, Heather, let me just tell you, I mean, personally, I think the other owners take it, and so many people think they're just all they do is try to make money off it. You know what I mean? It's almost like a money tree in a way. They think it's, okay, I can do this, but I don't have to put anything back. I don't have to do anything. I'm just going to run this thing into the ground and milk it for all the pennies I can get.
Well, I don't think anybody comes into it necessarily thinking that. I think all of the people that have purchased this track and owned it really do love racing. I think a lot of times it's more work than people think, and not necessarily with Cottage Grove, but with other tracks too. I think a lot of people come in and buy it because they love racing and it's going to be so much fun. And then you see that there's a lot of work involved. And, a lot of the people that have purchased it have other businesses that are very successful, and they just don't want or need the headache of a racetrack. And so I think that's part of why Cottage Grove's had such a turnaround for a while. But
wow,
I'm here for the long runner as long as I can make it work.
So you said you're single, right?
Yeah, I am. Thanks,
a
Terry.
single chick with a racetrack.
Yeah. Yep.
That's actually kind of hot.
It's well, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not something that happens very often. I know.
No, not at all. Hey, you guys. Sandy Ellen, what's up? David Edgar, thank you. What is going on? So since you've purchased it, what's the first thing you think you want to do with it? I mean,
I've leased it and ran it for the last 4 years. So there's kind of most of the things that I've wanted to do, I've already been doing, but I just want to make sure it's always here and viable and providing some awesome races. I'm not planning on changing a whole lot of things. Because I think that we've got a pretty good thing going down here.
Doug Bartley Jr. says, it is hot. All right, Doug. You can call Heather. Right. You can either call Heather Boy.
So perfect. You're filling up my social calendar. This is great. Thanks, Terry.
Absolutely.
I mean, we can't go do anything, but, maybe I'll have some plans after.
Oh, cool. Cool. And just so you know, I'm the fill-in announcer. So when Ben Deathridge can't be there, guess who gets the call? That's right. That's right, baby. So you guys still do those posters that you have there? I remember that was one of the coolest things I remember about Cottage Grove is they used to have when you go up the grandstands, they had these I don't know, they were 4 or 5 foot.
Yeah, the champion wall from last year's champion.
Yeah.
Yep. We do. I think we've done that the last 3 or 4 years, and I've actually got them made, and they're sitting in the office ready to be hung on that wall when we open. And it is pretty fun because then at the end of the season, that champion gets to take that big board home. And yeah, they're 2 foot by 4 foot or something. They're pretty good size.
They're cool. They're super cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. So I know the COVID thing has put a big kink in it, but knowing you're always so positive and moving forward. When are you hoping the gates are going to open?
I mean, if I had my way, they would be opening on Saturday. But I'm optimistic that they'll be open sooner than June. I'm hoping that by June 1st at the latest we'll be able to open. But we've got some pretty big stuff in May that we would love to get in, our Marvin race and some of that. But we're ready. Once they say that we can get things rolling, we're ready to open the gates. It's just kind of up in the air, but whenever it is, we're going to open and we're going to make the best of it, and we're going to have the most amazing season no matter how long it is.
I was talking with Doug Hobbs from Evergreen.
I love him.
Isn't he great?
He is.
He's a great man. And Greg Walden from Hermiston. I mean, I've been talking to, and that's why you and Jeremy are on, because you guys were, those were the pavement guys for Late Model Monday, but Jeff said, we got to get the dirt guys on too. So we wanted to get you guys in, but, they all said this kind of downtime is, it's not a blessing, but I guess it means that you get some time to maybe do some things that you maybe
absolutely
not have done or couldn't do before, when everything hit.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had kind of a different winter, because normally in the winter, it's just me and Lester down here. And then during the week, and then we've got some really great guys that come and help on the weekends. And usually during the winter, we do all these projects. Well, this winter, some things were up in the air because we were trying to purchase it and all these things were happening. We weren't sure. So a lot of those projects got put off, and we have had a few weeks of absolutely gorgeous weather. So yeah, when people pull in this year, it's going to look really nice. Everything's got a fresh coat of paint, and some things have been cleaned up and moved around. And so yeah, we're definitely making the best of these days off of racing, but man, we're really ready to get back to what we do.
I think everybody's, and everybody says, oh boy, they're thinking, well, we don't know, I don't know what the turnout's going to be. I'm telling you, there are so many race fans out there that places are going to be, that 6 foot rule, is going to be hard to keep.
Yes.
I think it's going to be hard. Well, I'll make you a deal. I'll make it on the air. I mess around a little bit with sign painting. So if you need some hand lettered stuff for your track, I would definitely love to make you some signs if you need.
Awesome.
You just need to let me know kind of what you need. And
absolutely.
And if I need to come down there and paint on some doors or walls or whatever, I would be thrilled to do it.
Well, that would be so cool. There's definitely some things that would look pretty good with that. And that there's just something about hand painted stuff, because that's the way everything used to be done, all the race cars and everything. So there's definitely, in fact, when you walk through the tunnel to the grandstands, we've got kind of our wall that's dedicated to Marvin and his memory and stuff. And we've got some hand painted stuff there, and everybody's constantly making comments about me. Well, why don't you put vinyl up there? Why don't you put this? And I'm like, because that's not how Marvin's car was. That's not how I want his wall to be. I want it to be that hand painted.
Yeah, I will say, I'm self-taught, so I'm a little slow, but my end result is pretty good.
Very cool. I'll have to keep that in mind. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to mess around and do that. That would be super cool. And if you need the walls done, if you want to get Cottage Grove put on the wall or something, I can come and make the stencils and stuff and come down and do that.
That would be so
yeah,
cool.
I would love to do that for you.
Oh, man, I would love to have that done. Yes, we'll definitely have to talk and figure that out.
Cool.
That would be great.
That would be super awesome.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
yeah, absolutely. So what do you think? So if you open in June, how many shows are going to be lost? When were you planning on opening?
Well, our original season opener was scheduled for March 21st. And actually,
boy.
that was a beautiful weekend, and we would have absolutely got that show in. It would have been great. So yeah, we will have lost a good chunk of races. We've kind of gone back through the schedule, anticipating that we may not open until June, and kind of revamped some stuff and added a few things. And depending on what happens with some of the other events and things and weather, we've considered moving the season back as well, which never works out for us. But if other things have had to cancel, then that might be a good opportunity too to get some of those races back. But
yeah,
we'll still do whatever we can to make sure everybody gets a full season and these drivers got a place to go.
Absolutely. And I was asking some of the other promoters, I said, so those shows that you miss, like in March, obviously you're not going to make up the March one, but the ones in April, you're going to try to make them up. And they said, man, the biggest problem with that is, yeah, we'd love to make them up, but we don't want to step on other people's toes.
Yeah, and that definitely, yeah, and that's a tough thing. And, we all have full schedules. We don't, from the time we start in March until we're done in September, we don't have a weekend off. So there's not really a great way to make some of those up. There is some things like, if we do lose the Marvin Memorial in May, we will find a day that's already scheduled to be a 360 show and make it that day. But some of these just local, normal weekly points races, they're just hard to move because there's nowhere really to put them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this is a question I've been dying to ask you for a long time. What is your brother still racing?
He's not. And it kills me. I wish he was. He just kind of, it got to be expensive and he had other things happening in his life. He's married now. He's got an amazing job. They actually took a year off last year and traveled the world. So if you're friends with him on Facebook, you've seen all these crazy places that they've been. I hope that someday he decides he wants to get back into it, and nothing would make me happier. I love watching him run a car.
That's so cool. Wow. Now, do you still have both your parents?
Yeah.
And are they pretty big race fans?
My dad for sure is. My mom is absolutely a fan of, like, when my brother was here, she came to all the races and all of that, and she enjoys it, but she's not as into it. My dad, though, he actually raced boats when he was younger, and then he owns a hardware store in town, so he sponsored a bunch of different drivers, and then of course he was very involved when my brother raced. And actually his dad, my grandpa, who's passed away, was part of the JCs, which is the group that built this racetrack in 1956. So
wow.
So my history with this track goes all the way back to long before I was born, when it first started, and it's definitely a cool thing.
How cool. So is his I just got to ask, is his hardware store a True Value?
No. It's an independent. We're not affiliated with anything or franchised with anything. It's Boyce and Sons in Cottage Grove, and it's his dad actually started it in 1969, I think, and then my dad bought it in 1985, and it's been here almost as long as the racetrack. Well,
my mom is from Kellogg, Idaho, which is a pretty small town. And my uncle now owns my grandpa's store. It's called the Furniture Exchange. It's a furniture store and hardware store. I think it's a True Value.
Oh, cool.
And it's been there since 1947.
Yeah, those little hardware stores that are local, that have been around forever, they have the coolest stuff in them, and the people know everything. They're just so much different than a box store.
Yeah, absolutely. And my uncle took it over, and it is really cool. You go in there, and he repairs vacuums, and he does all kinds of.
He does it all.
Yeah, he does all kinds. Well, in Kellogg, Idaho, if you blink, you kind of miss it, right?
So he's got to do it all because he's the only game in town.
Yes, absolutely. But that, and then he's also got, who's the big car dealer up there? Dave. He's huge. Anyway, my uncle has a huge parking lot, and he rents it out to, the auto dealership that's there. God, what is his name? Dave.
Is it Dave Smith?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
He owns half of Kellogg, I think.
Yeah, he's big in Idaho all over, I think.
Yes. And so my uncle rents him some space in his parking lot so he can keep some of the inventory there. So
cool.
Yeah, it's just really kind of neat. So that's kind of interesting that your dad has a hardware store.
Yeah.
Boyce and Sons, you guys need to, when you go to Cottage Grove and you need parts, you need to go there.
Yes, yeah.
Absolutely. So now, what about the snack shacks you guys have? You know, I think that's, other than bathrooms, which I know yours are pretty good.
Ours are clean. They're old, and they at some point definitely need redone, but we absolutely make sure that they're clean. And our snack shack, actually, I am so thrilled with how that's been lately because when Willamette changed hands last year, they brought in some of their own people, which meant that the concession manager from there became available, and I was able to snatch her up, and she has been a godsend. So our concessions are just amazing, and
I thought they were when I was down there. Yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Chili cheese fries. Those are the famous thing at Cottage Grove. Everybody loves the chili cheese fries and the beer dogs. Those are what we're known for.
Wow. That is pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, because Willamette had the beer dogs, right?
Well, we've had them. I think we've had them forever and ever and ever. We've always had them. And then I think Jerry tried them there after he had, bought both tracks and it's kind of seen what was going on down here. They may have had them up there before. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that they're just phenomenal. People love them.
They do. I'm telling you, the ones at Willamette were like, when Claire had it, I mean, they were.
So see, they did have them before too.
Oh yeah, they were the bomb.
Yeah, they're so good. Yeah, I have people. In fact, there's been some joking on Facebook because all these restaurants can open up for takeout, and guys have been commenting, "Can you open up and do beer dogs for takeout? Because we really want a beer dog."
Jeremy Mean says, "Cottage Grove, it's all about the beer dogs."
Jeremy knows.
Yep, he should know.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's gonna suggest that the concession guy at Sunset add them to the menu if they're not already there.
Yeah, absolutely. He better, or nobody's gonna go. So, speaking of Jeremy, he was a whale of a flagman. Who's your flagman down there at the Grove?
Oh God, I'm so incredibly lucky with what I've got down here. Rick Daniels is my flagger. He's been flagging for, I don't know, almost 40 years, I think. I know he's been flagging longer than I've been alive. He flagged at Eugene. He's been flagging here forever. He's phenomenal. He is just the best in the business. And that's kind of how all my staff down here is. I mean, Lester's been here for 30 years.
Who is Lester? Is Lester kind of your right-hand man?
He is. He's the race director. He is the one that's here all week making things happen. He's definitely, in fact, we kind of have a joke that on race day, I'm not the boss. He is. It's his racetrack.
And so, you know what? And you know what, Heather? If you can, if a person could get over that, that's really what you want, isn't it? As an owner.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I don't have to. It makes me be able to kind of step back and keep that promoter relationship with everybody, and not because I'm not making calls. I don't even get a radio on race day. They don't, unless somebody's gone. If Mackenzie, who scores, or somebody's gone and I've got to fill in a spot, I don't even have a radio. I don't even know what's going on. And I honestly, the part that I hate is I don't get to even watch hardly any of it. But yeah, they all do such a good job. I don't have to worry about anything on race day.
That's really cool because Bob Leach is kind of the same way. He says, I'll get involved if I absolutely have to.
Oh, and he doesn't want to. I worked for him for years.
Yeah, see, he hates getting involved. And I love that attitude. I think If you hire the right people and you've got the right people in place, you as an owner or the guy that makes it all happen or the gal that makes it all happen, that's what you want. You don't want to you want to spend your time greeting the people and making sure that they're getting taken care of and all that cool stuff.
Exactly. I want to be, and I'm very hands-on and available. And on race day, I mean, I spend most of my Saturday out in the pits with the drivers and all that, but I don't want to be the one making those calls. I want to be there and be supportive and be with all of them, but I don't want to alienate anybody. Which when you're making calls, you have to be that bad guy sometimes. And I'm just really lucky that I have a couple people that can do that and do amazing at it and do so much better than I ever would at it. And so, my life down here is pretty good.
That's awesome. Yeah. See, it just dumped me. Remember I told you? So it just dumped me. But that's okay. That's okay.
Well,
we're
maybe it'll come back.
It's going to come back. I got it going now. So,
okay, good.
I'm getting close to time, but we got about 3-4 minutes. But is there anything that you're really looking forward to this year? I mean, other than, I know, the COVID thing, and man, I just want to get racing. But is there anything you are really looking forward to?
Of course, just getting racing, but some of the big shows I'm really excited about. We've got, every class kind of has their own big deal, and those are all exciting, but even just the weekly shows, we try to make everything so fun that you really look forward to every event, and just seeing everybody, having everybody back. The off season's too long, and I miss them. So
you know what, Heather, that's so sweet. I love it. And you know what? I hope Heatehr just gone more than once. No, I'm kidding.
I'll have to get his schedule so I can give you a call. I'm sure. I know he does some. He does announcing for the different tours and stuff too. And so typically that's when he's gone, is when he's got a race at another track. So I'm sure we'll get you down here.
I'm yours when that happens. I mean, perfect. I'm going to tell you the one time that I got to go down there for the. What was it? The wall banger?
The wall banger cup.
Yeah.
And it was kids' night.
I'm telling you, I've done a lot of shows over and a lot of different deals, but that was so much fun. I mean, giving away the bikes and just all the kids and all the fans, how they got involved. It was just super cool.
It is. Kids' night is so chaotic and crazy, but it is so much fun. I mean, like you said, we gave away 50, 60, something like that bikes, and those kids just have a blast, and it is absolute chaos, but it is just so fun.
Yeah, it was. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting back there for sure.
Good.
Yeah. So, lastly, you think you're going to open in June?
Well, I mean, I'm hopeful that it'll be sooner than that, but
what's the word? May 4th? But I don't know. It might be different in Oregon.
And I think nobody really knows. I know they've said that some things are going to start opening. It sounds though like some of the events or event-based businesses where we still have over 250 people and some of those things may not get to open right away. So I'm hoping that that we can sooner rather than later, but nobody really knows.
Yeah. And you know what? I will say this. This COVID thing has been kind of a bummer, but the things that I've noticed are like walking my dog in my neighborhood. You're seeing complete families out walking their dog. You're seeing families playing catch and football and volleyball nets up in their yard playing, games. And I mean, it's so refreshing to see some of that stuff that totally was lost before all of this.
Yeah, I think maybe we all just needed a little bit of a reset, and maybe that's what this has been. And
amen. Hopefully
when we go back to whatever normal is, everybody will have a little bit more appreciation, and it'll just in the end run make everybody's lives a little better.
You know what, Heather? I actually believe that's an awesome statement. Because for me, when I go to the racetrack, they're like my extended family. So the time I was down there, I saw so many guys that I hadn't seen in so long. I mean, it was like, from back in my days at Willamette, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm seeing this guy and this guy. It's like, oh my God, wow, this is cool.
Know. It's such a family. It really is. And I'm going crazy not being able to see all of my drivers, because I really do feel like they're mine. And we have that joke, especially with some of my local guys. It's all in fun, but when they go to other tracks, I tell them they got to quit cheating on me because I don't like when they leave me. And I really do, like, I'm very protective and possessive of my drivers, but it's because I really do love all of them, and I can't wait for them to get back.
Man, so if you're like that for your drivers, imagine what you're going to be like with a man.
Oh God. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe this radio show will get me a date. Hey,
if it does, you owe me.
I do, yeah. Matchmaker fee.
No, it's no problem. Heather, I think you're wonderful. I have nothing but the utmost respect for you. I'm I'm so proud of you for buying that place and doing what you do, and it's an honor that you're going to have me down there when Ben isn't there. I'm just telling you, it means the world to me, honestly.
Well, good, and you do such a great job. We really loved being able to have you, and I know there will be a few dates, but that's one of the things on my list to do. I do got to catch up with Ben and see what his schedule's like. Of course, right now I think nobody really knows what their schedules are going to be like.
Absolutely. That's pretty tough, right? Well, you know what? Just let me know, because you got me. I mean, you got me. And don't forget the sign deal. I'm ready. If you need me to come down,
I'm brainstorming already some different things we can do.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for being on the show. I know it was short notice, but thank you so much for
anytime I can talk about racing with you, I'm happy to.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Heather Boyce, everybody. I'm telling you, that girl is awesome. She's single. She owns a racetrack. Are you guys fools? Somebody needs to go. She's and not only that, she's a nice-looking gal. She's a really nice-looking gal. So, I mean, I'm married, so I got to be careful. But she's a catch. I'm telling you, she's a catch. What's up, Marcus and Davis? What's up, my boy? Yeah. What's up, Boyd? Hey, what's up, Steve Sharpley? Glad you're here, man. Hope you're doing well. Blessings to all you guys. Jeremy Mean's going to be our next guest. He's going to be calling me here in just a few minutes, and he is the promoter of Sunset Speedway. Man, Heather was awesome. I mean, I am so excited that she bought that place. That's number one. That's a heck of a buy at this day and age. But that just tells you the kind of gal she is. She's I went down there and did a show for her when her announcer, Ben Deatherage, who was awesome. I think it was his birthday or he had another event or something, but I got to go down and do the Wallbanger Classic, and I'm telling you, man, it was off the hook. I mean, it was so fun, and she treated me like gold. It was amazing. Oh, my man! And here's our next guest, everybody. We heard from Heather Boyce from Cottage Grove. This is Sunset Speedway. This is the GM of Sunset, Mr. Jeremy Means. Jeremy Flags Means. What's going on, Flags?
Hey, Terry. How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing awesome. Wasn't that a great interview with Heather?
That was an awesome interview by Heather. I always consider Heather kind of like the queen of promoters in the Northwest. She's a great lady and honestly an amazing person to work with, and I'm excited for her to take over Cottage Grove this season.
Me too, man. She is an absolute sweetheart. It's one of those where you just hope things just go awesome for her because she's such a sweet gal. So Jeremy, tell me, are you you're down some weight, bro? I've been following you on Facebook, and dude, I'm loving it. You're down like what? I mean, you're over. I mean, you're close to 100 pounds, aren't you?
I'm right about 55 pounds down so far.
Dude. Now, are you feeling better now since you lost that 55?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Better every day.
Dude, that's so sweet. Congratulations, man. That's because, we all know it takes forever to get in shape, but it don't take nothing to get out.
Oh yeah, that's no lie there. I gotta remember how I lost this weight.
Yeah, man, I love it, dude. I bet you're looking great. I know the pictures I saw at Crater Lake with your lady and whatever. Man, dude, you're looking good. I love it. So
I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. So, and I saw you were doing a little dirt racing. You were driving a sprint car on the dirt.
Oh, yeah, I was playing some video games. Kind of the only type of racing we're getting right now. And,
I love it, man.
I'm a little too broke for the iRacing thing right now myself, but I can still do the console games, and I've been playing a lot of Tony Stewart sprint car racing on the Xbox the last couple of weeks.
Dude, that's sweet. Boyd Maloney, it's good to see you too, man. Thank you very much for that comment. So, man, let's talk about Sunset. You're the new GM. Man, that's a big undertaking, bro.
It is, and I'm very, very thankful for Jerry Schramm to bring me in this season up there. Especially, I worked for Jerry for quite a while, as everyone knows. I worked for him for about 8 seasons at Willamette, and it was great. I loved working for Jerry. Loved working when it was with Chris there, and then after Chris left, it was still good. It was still fun. I was enjoying it. It's a family to me there, and it was great for a long time. And then I chose to step away in 2018. At the end of the season, I chose to step away to try to do something different. I just want to change the scenery. Decided that year to step away from Willamette, and got a phone call probably 2 weeks after I said I was leaving Willamette from the Wingless Sprint Series. They're like, well, what do you feel about coming on board? And I'm like, well, it's a little quick, but I wanted to have an opportunity to go with the series, and I'm thankful for last season with the Wingless Sprint Series. I went on board as their competition director, got to go to a lot of different racetracks, work with a lot of different promoters, which kind of gave me a head start on this job.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to meet some of the promoters and work with them even more before taking on this job this season at Sunset. And I'm really looking forward to eventually getting the season started and getting to work with this amazing track staff. I got to do it a few times last season. I went there and flagged one night for Jerry. I went down there and race directed one night for Jerry last season, and then I went there and announced one night for Jerry. So I got a feel of a few different positions there last year, and I know that staff's amazing up at Sunset.
Well, dude, I got to say, I don't normally say this, but you're actually a pretty good announcer.
I appreciate that, Terry.
Absolutely. And we had fun when we did some cage kart stuff together, and that was always fun. You'd come up in the booth and we'd hang out and do that. That was always cool. But that's really cool. I think as a GM, you need to know all those different positions, because those are some of the key other than the GM position, the flagger and the announcer. I mean, you need to really know what's going on and what they need.
And I'm pretty blessed, I would say. Over the time I've worked in motorsports, I've gotten to work pretty much in every position you could think you could work in as a racetrack. I've helped with track prep when I was down at Medford one time. I've done that part a little bit. I've flagged from the infield. I've flagged from the head flag stand. I've been the guy on the receiver. I've been the guy scoring before. I'm not a fan of that one. I'll leave the girlfriend to scoring. That's a whole other story there.
Yes, absolutely.
And I've done some of the other stuff. I've done lineups. I've done pit stewards. I've done all these different positions, which does help. I think at the end of the day, I enjoy flagging. That's what I grew up wanting to do. But then it became I wanted a little bit something more. I wanted to have a chance of this opportunity to see what I can do with Sunset. But I'm thankful for all of these 11, 12 years in motorsports doing all sorts of different positions over the years.
Yeah, dude. I can tell you, even, people don't really count it, but I think they need to. I mean, the years that you were down there, you'd come in and fill in at BK and help out with that, and all your time flagging the kart series down there, the indoor series and stuff, and the BKs, and dude, you definitely made a difference, and I think your presence was felt when you weren't there, kind of like Roger. You know, a lot of people didn't like Roger and this or that, but Roger did a damn good job, and I just think you notice when guys like that are gone, and yourself included. I mean, you do a great job with lineups. I know as an announcer, you always kind of had that intuition of what I needed and would always give me the little bit extra, and I always appreciated that up in the tower, because a lot of times you don't get that.
Yeah, I will say it was kind of a weird winter this year. I want to say this was probably the first year I hadn't worked at Salem since probably 2014 or so. So, I mean, it's been a while of me going. Even after I left full-time at Salem, I would still come back and, like you said, help at BK, help at a couple of the other bigger shows. I think I helped at the Micro Nationals last year, too. It was definitely odd this season. I actually only went up to Salem twice last season. I did a few races at Roseburg as well to watch, but I kind of took on another motorsport this last season working for Bob Leach's son, Robbie. I was doing flagging for his motocross series down in Medford and Eugene. So then I was kind of switching up again and doing dirt motocross.
Wow, dude, that's cool. What'd you think of that? How was that?
It's kind of cold and wet some days because Eugene is outdoor and they race during the winter. So the weather is Oregon sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I always laugh about that because I'm out there in the heavy downpour, just freezing my butt off for 3-4 hours. And I'm looking across the way at this nice enclosed scoring tower that the girls sprint and Rock Leakers are sitting in enjoying the heat.
Yeah. But, man, I need to ask you this. So, I know that, I mean, you kind of started at Salem and you got going, and, man, dude, you flagged some big events. So, in your mind, what was the coolest or what was the biggest event that you've actually got to flag?
You know, it comes down. I mean, there's a lot of big events I've had the honor of flagging. Like you said, I enjoy a lot of them. I have a special place. Like you mentioned BK. I have a special place for the BK race in my heart. I didn't know Buddha, but I have a special place for that race because I did it for so long. I'd worked all the way from, I want to say, from BK4 was the first year I ever flagged BK.
Mm-hmm.
I did BK4 all the way working the event till BK11. I believe I flagged all the way through BK10. So a lot of years of just being there and enjoying that race, and that has a special place for me. And then growing up at Willamette, Strawberry Cup, growing up in the city of Lebanon, Strawberry Cup meant everything. It wasn't the biggest payday. It's not the biggest event of the season as far as crowd sometimes, because we do have the parade and festival going on in town, but it was something special about Strawberry Cup. And growing up for me, it was, you got a special t-shirt every year, which that stopped a few years back, but they used to have a special t-shirt every year that had the champions' names on the back, and that was a different shirt every year just for Strawberry Cup. So that place has a special heart in me, but probably the one that I'm most proud of was my first War of Outlaws show, getting to fly the War of Outlaws for the first time, because that is gut-wrenching, let me just tell you.
Oh, I can imagine.
Flag for those guys is something else, and there's a few people don't know this, but not just when it came to flagging the World Outlaws for the first time. That was my first time flagging sprint cars in my lifetime. I had never done a 360, a limited, or a 410 sprint car race in my life in a flag stand, and I got fed to the World Outlaws for the first time.
Dude, that's pretty awesome, man. That's really cool. You know,
yeah, that was a special night for sure.
Isn't that great? I mean, that is. See, you guys have. I mean, you've gone the gamut for me. I mean, I've done a lot of go-kart stuff, and I've got to do a lot of nationals, and I've done a lot of the regional stuff, and of course, I've done all 12 BKs, but I've never had the biggest event I think I've had was I did a event up at Wenatchee, and I got to do the ARCA Ignite 150. So for me, that was the biggest announcing gig that I've ever had. But man, so for me, when I hear you say that, man, I kind of tingle with excitement because I know that had to have been. I mean, man, if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Terry, you want to call the World Outlaws?" I was like, "Well, yeah, hell yeah!" But I just think that's so cool.
I got the phone call telling me I was going to do the World Outlaws the night before. Chris called me the night before, and I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm going to go enjoy the World Outlaws. I watched them the year before, the first time they came to Lebanon. I went and sat in the pits and watched them, enjoyed the show. It was the first time they were in Lebanon and had a great time. Then come around year 2, I have a job at the racetrack. I'm at that point taking over as head flagman, and he calls me the night before and says, "Hey, just so you know, we decided to make the call. You're going to flag World Outlaws."
Dude,
are you kidding me?
Dude, that's like awesome.
Yeah, and Chris was like, he said, well, it told me I should call and ask you if you mind doing it before I call you. And he's like, I don't think I need to call Jeremy and ask him before I ask him if he wants to flag him.
Yeah, it's kind of like does a bear shit in the woods?
I think that was Chris's exact words. I still laugh about that. And you know what? I tell people I wasn't nervous most of that race. For most of that race, to me, it was just a normal show. I mean, it was a big crowd, but qualifying heat races, it was going so quick and so good. It was just a normal show to me. What gets you at War of Outlaws, and I think it will still get to me to this day, and it still gives me goosebumps no matter how many times I hear it, it's the four-wide salute and hearing Johnny Gibson say those most famous words in dirt track racing, and hearing that sound and hearing Johnny Gibson scream at the top of his lungs, "You wanted the best, you got him for a breast." It gives you goosebumps.
And there you are getting ready, and you getting ready to throw the green, dude. That's got to be amazing. Yeah, that's so, and here, and I listen to that and I go, and here's a guy that sends me a picture when he's about 2 feet tall, leaning up against Larry Sauce's car.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's awesome,
bro. I grew
bro.
up at the racetrack. Yeah, no doubt I grew up at the racetrack. Family's raced forever, so it's just family tradition to be at the racetrack every Saturday. I think my mom told me my first race, I was 2 months old. It's the way I grew up. You went there on Saturdays, every Saturday.
So that had to mean you used to watch me, right?
Apparently I did. I don't remember a lot of the 90s races. I know last show you're talking about Matthew about the same thing. I'm a little bit younger than Matthew, so I don't remember a lot of the 90s. I can remember some glimpses and some of the
When were you born, Jeremy?
92.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, dude. So you wouldn't remember me at all. I mean, I was still going up until when I helped Bob in 2002. But yeah, you would. That's too bad. Shoot.
That's the first memories I remember at the racetrack was definitely Bob Jeffries out there dominating the V6. That's the first memories I can look back and really remember. It's just the V6 days, the 98 up front, and it didn't matter where you started. Of course, back then, if you won the week before, you started dead last the next week, and that was just the way it was. That was the winner's handicap.
Yeah, and Claire would try to take the racetrack away from me. He'd take the top groove off. He'd do everything he could to keep Bob from winning.
He was a scientist. He was a mad scientist at that because he would see what everybody's doing, see everybody changing shocks, everybody's comfortable with the car for dry slick, and everybody's sitting and staging. Oh, nope, I want a water break. Or the exact opposite. They're expecting the water break, so they're prepping for it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, no, we're going to roll right through. We're running a little late today.
Dude, that used to tick me off. I used to say, you need to give us 15 minutes to go change our setups. Yeah, you know what, though? I can honestly tell you, Jeremy, down there at Willamette, those were some of the greatest times that I've ever had racing. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff. The BKs have been absolutely amazing, as you know. I mean, just the drivers, just who they are as not even as drivers, just who they are as people. You know, but man, that era, I am so proud that I was a part of that. I mean, I just can't even tell you how much. Like when I had Drager on, he was just such a treat because he brought back so many cool memories. Just like kind of
that whole time was amazing to me because when I started with the racetrack back in 2009, 2010 was when I first started at Willamette and started doing the go-karts and moving on to the big track. I got to start and learn originally from Bill Arnold, which was phenomenal to me because I grew up watching Bill in the flag stand.
Absolutely, he was a damn good flagger.
Oh, and I got to witness two of the best, in my opinion, in Northwest history. I got to witness Bill in the flag stand, and then, like Heather mentioned, I got to go down south, and I got to go watch Rick Daniels. And Rick Daniels, to me, was an amazing flagman for so many years. So I always enjoyed going down there and getting to watch him dance around the flag stand as well. So to those two, getting to watch those two, and then starting there and learning a little bit from Bill Arnold was amazing. And then my first race on the big track, when I jumped up from the go-karts to the big track, it was a phone call. I'm sitting at the Strawberry Parade, and I get a phone call from Evelyn Arnold and asking me to come switch over and start working the big track. And it was amazing to get that phone call from Evelyn, and it's been great all these years since then.
Isn't she? I mean, I don't know if is Evelyn still with us?
Evelyn's still with us. I got to see her pretty much every year at Willamette for the Claire Cup. She'd come and watch Claire's memorial race there. And every time she was at Willamette, I had to make sure to go find her and give her a big old hug. Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, she was I don't care. I mean, Claire was good, but Evelyn was the backbone. When I was working at Costco in Albany, she was in there one day getting groceries, and she God, this Facebook thing, man. I am telling you, man, I don't understand what they're doing. But yeah, this is crazy. Anyway, it was so cool because she picked me out and she said, "Terry?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, Evelyn." It was so amazing, bro. It was just so amazing. I can't even tell you how cool, Evelyn is just a sweet lady.
Yeah. No, it's amazing to go all those years. I can look back on that one and look back at my experiences there, and now to get to switch over and go to a small little bull ring up outside of Portland with Banks. It's going to be new for me. It's going to be challenging for me, but I'm really looking forward to get some races in.
So have you
I'm ready for it.
Have you got to do any work on the racetrack since you've taken over?
I've been out there a couple times. While they were starting to get before all this stuff went down, starting to get the tractor out there, starting to get the track ready, starting to get some cleanup, get some stuff ready, and look at the staff and see what they've gotten ready to go. And now we're to the point where, just like Heather said, we're chomping at the bit. All these racetracks are ready. We're ready to go. We're just waiting for those magic words that says we can go.
Right. Wow, dude. So when are you hoping? When are you hoping that you get to go?
I think I'm in the same boat as her. I think I'm optimistic that we're going to get a race day in the month of May. That's my optimistic side of me. Is I want to get going by Memorial Day weekend. That's my hope. Is I want that 2-day spring challenge, big micro sprint race, and I want that stuff to start going into the season. And I'm hopeful for it. But I would really, really hope for between late May to mid-June we get at least the green flag at some point. If it was my choice, we'd be racing like a few days away because the weather's absolutely amazing right now.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing. That's a fact. Wow, dude, that is so flipping cool. I just can't even tell you how cool it is. So when are you hoping the gates are going to open?
Actually, I'm still right in that same area. Memorial Day, June is definitely the hope.
So the end of May.
I think that's the hope. I think that's most people's hope is the end of May. 'Cause if we can get going by the end of May, that's only a few more weekends that we normally don't race. Because honestly, it's April. We don't get this weather most years. It's usually rainouts right now anyways. We're usually starting first or second week of May. That's a normal season in Oregon, it seems like, even though we always schedule in April. It seems like you're pretty confident once we get into May we're going to start racing, and I'm kind of hoping that's the same situation this year is we'll get over this part of it and we'll be able to go racing in May, and we'll just look back at this like it was a rain out these first few weekends, even though it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. So what's going to happen then with the fans? I mean, with the 6-foot rule and the masks and all that stuff. I mean, are the first few races going to be run with little or no fans, or what do you think on that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is going to be from our governor on that side of it. I think it's a situation that I do think early May we're going to start seeing the normal everyday retail businesses slowly start opening back up, and I do think racetracks, sporting events in general, concerts, we're going to be the last straw. They're going to be the last thing to get going, and it's just because of the nature of the beast with that many people there at one time, and I hope we can open up as normal as possible at that point. I know prior to everything getting shut down, when we were slowly starting going to shut down, we didn't have the mask rule as much. And we originally, when it first came down, with a 250 rule. It wasn't. They had to sit so far away from each other. It was just a 250-person rule, which I really hope it's not a situation where we go back. I mean, my hope is that when we go back, we can go back with as many fans in the stands as possible. Because I'm still getting messages and stuff from the racetrack side and from off the racetrack side, messages and emails saying, when we open the gates, we're ready. We're going to be there for you. And that's what all these racetracks really need is once we are able to open the gate, we want the love. We want everybody to be in there as much as possible and as quick as possible because we're going to need it, and we're going to need their support, and we're going to try to support them as much as possible once we open. But I'm just hoping it's sooner rather than later.
Well, Jeremy, I can tell you, I honestly believe, number one, that the stands everywhere, Hermiston, I mean, whoever is starting, I mean, the stands are going to be packed. I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. I think there's a lot of race fans out there that are, well, we're all going stir crazy, man. I mean, look at you. You were on there saying, man, dude, I'm eating this, I'm making that, I'm on my dirt thing. We're going crazy right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I've cleaned my house more in the last few weeks than I have in my entire life. They just keep doing the same process because you just have time to do it. It's like, oh, I'm just ready for normal. I'm ready for be busy on the weekends. I'm ready. I mean, luckily I'm back at my job full-time 40 hours a week again, which helps. But on top of that, it's like I'm just ready for I can go to work Monday through Friday. I want to be able to go work on the weekends too.
Well, what about when you got your 40-hour week job? So how many hours are you going to be putting in then once the racetrack opens? 60 plus?
Oh, I think it's going to be a lot. And that's the thing is I've always strived for that one. Anybody that knows me, I mean, if you've seen me on Facebook, you know I can't stay home. I'm not built to stay home. I'm not built to sit down. So once we're able to, I strive on just trying to stay as busy as possible. I mean, prior years of racing, it's been nothing for me. I think my record is somewhere around 108 race events in one calendar year.
Wow. Wow.
Right?
That's incredible, dude.
Yeah, especially for the Northwest. I always think of that afterwards. I'm like, I was able to do that in the Northwest?
Dude, no. No, dude. Nobody goes to 108 events, man. Come on.
But believe me, I eat, live, and drive racing. Always have, always will. It's nothing. I mean, the girlfriend, we had a race last year. We rained out last season here at Willamette, and it rained out. It was Easter weekend, and I had a race Sunday at Eugene Motocross. I'm like, you know what? But Skagit's racing tonight. So we load up the car. I drove, I don't even know how long it is, 6-7 hours to Skagit from Lebanon.
Holy smoke,
Watched
dude.
the night of racing, left Skagit right after the last checker flag flight, drove home, got home at 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
And you were at the racetrack at 7 o'clock.
6:30 in the morning.
God
dang.
dang.
To go to Eugene.
Wow. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, that is a dude, you're a racing kook, man. He just laughs. I love it, man. Hey, we're out of time. It's 8 o'clock. I don't want to keep everybody over. I want to thank everybody. Phil DeMars, what's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning in. We had the great Jeremy Means on tonight and Heatehr Boyce. It's on Facebook. Jeremy, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us tonight.
Hey, thank you, Terry.
I need to get you an answer. I know I do. So I will get on that so you know what's going on, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, brother. Thanks for being on the show, man. Appreciate you so much.
All right.
All right, bye-bye. Jeremy Means, everybody. What a great guy. What a great flagman. What a great promoter he's going to be at Sunset. So I just know that Sunset is lucky to have them on there. Phil DeMars, what's going on, brother, man? And I just want to say, you guys appreciate the love, appreciate the shows. It's been a little lax. I'm going to be gone I'm not gone. It's just I'm doing the first and third Wednesday of every month, so we won't be back until May. And that first weekend in May, I have got, boy, his name escapes me now. But I'm going to have a great show for you in, I can't believe I just did that. Marty Casey going to be our guest. He is the owner of Tag USA on that first Wednesday that we're back. I'm going to have Dave Fuge back on Monday night just because Facebook let me down so much on Monday. So you late model guys, even you dwarf guys, even you stock car guys, you need to tune in. Dave Fuge is one of the greatest chassis builders of all time here in the Northwest. He went back and did some stuff with the Cup series and the Truck series, and the guy's a bed of knowledge, and he's gonna be back with us to give us some insight on bump stops and how to set them up and what you need to be thinking about and all that cool stuff. So he's back by popular demand only because Facebook was kind of a joke since they made this new setup. You know, I don't like it. I don't like the layout. I don't like anything. But it's okay. We got what we got, so we're going to make the best of it. That'll be Late Model Monday next Monday, and we're going to go at 7 p.m. I'm going to go regular time because 6 p.m. is just too many people on there, and it hogs up the bandwidth, and I think that's part of it. So appreciate you supporting the show. Hope everybody's safe. May 4th, hopefully everything opens up and we get back to normal here. But I'm just going to tell you, put God first, then love yourself, then love your family, and everything else will fall into place. And if somebody's on the bottom, you got to go to the outside. It's the way it is. Stay safe, wear your mask, stay home, save lives. I love you. I'll see you on Sunday night for the history of karting. We're going to have Jason Gibb back with us. It's going to be awesome. So tune in, spread the word. I could use the help. So love you guys. Take care, and we'll see you on Sunday. Well, another show in the books. You are the reason we're here. We hope you'll tune in next week for another Winning Wednesday here on the Northwest Race Report.
Lippy here. If you like tonight's show or any of our shows, please like and share on Facebook. And don't forget to stop by TerryBridgesRacing.com. Subscribe so you don't miss any of our shows.
What's up, race fans? This is the real deal, Chris Kidd, and you're listening to the Northwest Race Report.
If you're serious about racing, you're constantly looking for an edge. A tenth here, a pound there. It's a non-stop pursuit to find a quicker way around the racetrack. See High Performance believes to beat the racetrack, you must become the racetrack. And that is the thought process behind all of their innovative speed products. From their line of Superfly bodies and wings to the latest dual-disc center vane Super Brake, it's all about finding a quicker way around the racetrack. With 45 years of innovation, See High Performance is dedicated to helping racers of all skill levels find an edge. Whether it's horsepower tuning, chassis dialing, or tire science, it's their commitment to innovation that sets them apart from the rest. Innovation is not what is, it's always been about what can be. So be all you can be with the integrity, innovation, and inspiration of See High Performance. Shop online 24/7 at seehighperformance.com.